Yo, wow. But we just seems like we might have not had audio the entire time.
That is crazy.
Either way, we'll still keep going.
Fuck yes. That is insane. But yeah, I could feel you on like the whole. Oh yeah, I was like, I felt like it would be going a little bit longer this feud. I guess though, it's been like 6 weeks they've been about interacting. Him and Briscoe, has it even been that long?
Mark and
MJF.
About
it feels like it's been
4 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's a little bit quick for you to be jumping to like the 11, on the MJF scale, like I said, because he always does do stuff like that in a feud, like in a serious feud, which this has been Briscoe. Like I said last time, I believe this has been his most serious feud up to this point. But it's kind of quick for you to be jumping to the 11, basically. Yeah. That's all. So it's like, if this was going for like 3 months and then you said something like that, it would make sense. But yeah, for you to like, go to the well, it's like, I agree with that,
Well, and thank you for the comment, Exos. We figured out our audio issues. That's embarrassing that we talked for 40 minutes and apparently we probably didn't have audio. But we're speed running through. This is AEW All-In. Big Great American Buffet, episode 53. We're halfway through the week. We're trying to speed run through the week of content because we're just trying to get to the predictions and kind of save all our breath there. So you really didn't miss much. We're just reviewing the show. So right now we're going through Dynamite and we just talked about MJF and that. But I also did like the aftermath when they started brawling and then they had between MJF and Mark Briscoe, then you started the Hurt Business come out. Yeah. Then you got Jet Speed to come out and they kind of got a little bit of their revenge, and then it brought out the patriarchy, and then they, concerted with Bobby Lashley's leg. So it just, made Hurtson to look vulnerable for the first time. I guess the first time we've seen him really vulnerable on AEW roster. So it gave me possible thoughts of what I might predict for that triple threat tag team match that they have going on tonight. Mm-hmm. But I'll save my thoughts for when we get to All In. But both those segments I really liked. That's it. If MJF just didn't go for the low hanging fruit, I would have had that as a primo on the show. But for me, I was just like, bro, like I didn't even have a problem. The subject matter wasn't the problem. It was more of just like you go to this bag way too often for my taste. Mm-hmm. The CP is not necessary.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was gonna add on to like the jet speed and like because they have been like the storyline, they've been given the most storyline as far as like chance with Hurt Syndicate. I mean, as far as like the patriarchy showing up, I mean Christian is an asshole that just sticks it like because it seems so far out of left field to me.
I don't watch Collision, so I'm like, how you?
That's where he's at. Yeah, he be on that. The patriarchy be on Collision most of the time, so it's like that. Like we just said, it's like, nigga, that's where we dropped the ball. We ain't watching Collision, nigga. So it's like, it kind of feels like it's out of left field, but I'm like, I guess that's what throws the monkey wrench in it for me, where I'm like, either storylines or just bigger guys are going to beat you. And they're not bigger. So I was like, they're not going to beat them straight up. But I think storyline, they stole the championships and all that stuff and have the fighting spirit to get their asses beat and be like, oh, that's all y'all got, like they did last week on Dynamite. So, or 2 weeks ago, whenever that was. But yeah, I'm just saying that to say that honestly, this is probably another one of those I'm like really split on as far as like when we get to our predictions.
My last mid that I had for the show was I like the other swerve segment that they had where he came at the end after the Ops and Hangman match versus the Death Riders, and you saw him pop up on the screen, and he's in the parking lot with a heavy machinery. I forget the actual name of the machine that he was
excavator.
Using.
It's an excavator, yeah.
And he can destroy the Young Bucks limo.
Yeah.
I thought that was well done. It just reminded me of like old Stone Cold.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he like with the fucking truck and shit.
He like blew up the DX bus and stuff like that. And just I'm like, oh, okay, that's nice. Like parking lot car destruction is always my favorite. So,
yeah.
I really like that.
I would say I wish that the limo like was more kayfabe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, like Eddie Guerrero pulling up in the fucking lowrider every time. So it doesn't take that much for you to understand if somebody was like had a sledgehammer in front of it. You know what I'm saying? Or like when Brock Lesnar turned over like Undertaker's bike, he was like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like if they would have like, not that they got to bring the limo out on stage, but like just make more of a spectacle of the limo, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
I thought they did a good job. That was like really destroyed that. He really destroyed
it. No, not the ending is great. I mean, like make us care about the limo. Like it's only been like 2 weeks. I think we've seen this limo.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Okay.
Like we should have seen this limo for like 2 months.
Yeah.
Since they've been the founding fathers. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Kind of like when Swerve's house, like all of a sudden was there and it got burned down.
Yeah.
And we're like, you know what I mean?
But again, you can understand Swerve's more than a limo.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh yeah, you just bought this limo, so you blew it up. you know, like 2 weeks later. But
anything else you want to talk about with Dynamite?
No, that's it for me. That's it. That's so fucking embarrassing. That's like when I was playing D&D with you guys, and we were playing for like 2 weeks on that campaign. When I had y'all at the like the spa. It was like the residual spa run by witches.
Yeah.
And I had y'all like on the map, and I was like, why do they keep on walking through the walls? And then he was like, and then Jay was finally like, yo, hit Control H. And then the fucking map popped up.
Like,
and everybody's like, oh shit. I was like, y'all have been looking at a black screen this entire time.
Yeah, I thought the entire time, like, oh, we're supposed to be walking through the ethereal plane.
No.
White boy. Okay.
Yeah. And it's like, they're sitting there thinking, is there supposed to be no audio here? Like, it's just like, we're just talking for 40 minutes. Thank
you for our wood viewer that gave us the heads up.
See, now every time we got to make sure we're looking at this. I can make sure we got that clear because we've been looking at this and that's clearly not giving it to us. But yeah. That's it for Dynamite for us.
Let's get into the Book of Wrestling.
Short Book of Wrestling this week.
I won't even do the intro.
Yeah, short Book of Wrestling this week. Because of all the predictions. I'm just gonna actually do both of them real quick. We'll go I'll do the TNA or July 10th, 2011. TNA's Generation Me, aka, which I didn't know this is who they were. TNA's Destination X pay-per-view took place in the Impact Zone in Orlando, Florida. The main event saw AJ Styles defeat the Fallen Angel Christopher Daniels. Also on the show, Brian Kendrick beat Abyss to win the X Division Championship. In a notable match on the undercard, Eric Young and Shark Boy defeated Max and Jeremy Buck. Do you recognize those names, Max and Jeremy Buck?
No.
Okay. Also known as Generation Me, also their real names. This was the release. After this, they were released the following day, a release that was granted. The team reverted to their name, the Young Bucks. So I was just like, oh, that's their real name.
Yeah.
Hence the Young Bucks. Their last name actually is just Buck. So I was like, Generation Me? That's a stupid name. Yeah. I don't know. That's a stupid name. But going on to obviously go back to New Japan and become one of the most influential tag teams of all time. But I was just, the fact that they were called Generation Me, that's the only reason I had it here. And I was like, that's a stupid name. Like, if that was like TNA's version of like, oh, let's give us our, the name we can make money on, you know what I mean? Because they probably own the Young Bucks name, that's their actual name. So, yeah, I just thought, I was like, that's stupid. And then the match for this week is September 8th, 1996, Rey Mysterio versus Dean Malenko at WCW Monday Night Nitro. And this is when Rey Mysterio wins the WCW Cruiserweight Championship. Nice. Considered one of the best, 10-minute matches or WCW matches just of all time, Yeah,
I believe this is like either as like a second or third match on like WCW. Like he just like debuted within like, when he had this match. So.
But that is the Book of Wrestling for this week. Pinkies up, people, for the Book of Wrestling. Remember that.
Let's get into the boutique and the final go-home show of the week. SmackDown. So we watched SmackDown, recorded once we got back from the Absol concert yesterday.
Yep.
Pretty decent show from what I can very vaguely remember.
Yeah. I would say, man, I mean, maybe I should be pushing. I would say definitely the most important thing is the Wyatt Six.
Yeah.
Defeating Street Profits. But however, that was not even in the main event. Like you called it out in the sense that it's like, it's a pay-per-view weekend and like this is the match that should be on the pay-per-view.
Yeah, I was like, they're losing their titles.
Yeah, you said it before the match even started, and that's why I'm like, yeah, it's a mid. But I would say it would be a primo or should be a primo for like the. But yeah, if you put it in the middle of the show too, it didn't even close the show. Yeah. So it's like, man, yeah, it's a mid for sure. But the Wyatt 6-1.
The fatal. If I had to put anything primo, I'd probably put it as the fatal 4-way women's match. So Ruka, Alexa Bliss, Kairi Sane, and Roxanne Perez.
Yeah, actually, I thought
it was great. So Ruka making her main roster television debut.
She had a double soul snatcher in that. That shit was crazy. She had a double soul snatcher in that.
And Alexa Bliss ended up getting the win on that. it was just nice to see. They put on a good match. Roxanne, I said she's just so good with anybody. Like I said it yesterday, I was like, not even for the Hispanic heritage, just like as far as like just pure wrestling ability and talent, she just reminds me of like an Eddie Guerrero, where it's like if you want to see who can hang in the business, you just put him in the run with Roxanne, and you'll be able to get an idea of like, you know, if this person has potential or not.
I think because once again, with her moniker of the Prodigy, it's like literally you can see like in like as wrestling fans, like you can see who is like unnatural versus like, okay, you got to work on it, you know what I'm saying? Or like still stiff, or like, you know, Roxanne's a natural. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is like her shit versus like somebody like no shot at her or anything, but like Jade, you know, we were waiting when Jade was signed, and we were like, man, what the hell is taking her so long? You know, and it's like she's in the performance center. Her and Jade, like literally, it was like Roxanne was one of her main dance partners. You know what I'm saying? Because she's gonna be the big girl for the she's gonna be the bass in the majority of her matches, playing the bass. So, big girl sounds crazy. But yeah, I agree with that for sure. I also had the actual main event, which was Jimmy and LA Knight getting the W over Solo and JC Mateo. LA Knight actually getting a pinfall victory over the United States champion. Jimmy? Yeah, shit. I keep on saying that. But yeah. Even still, getting a pinfall victory over a new United States champion, you already know that just means
you're not winning.
I mean, not in this one, but it means you're getting a title shot. That's what it means.
Yeah, he was already scheduled.
Well, you just said Jimmy. Jimmy pinned Solo, right?
Yeah, Jimmy was already scheduled.
I know. I'm talking about in the future. Or he's already scheduled?
That's this weekend. That's tonight.
Oh, guys, I don't know why I was thinking LA. No, LA Knight's got Seth Rollins. What the fuck? Yeah, either way. I don't know. This is the thing with the problem and the good thing with cross-pollination across shows. You know, I'm just like, oh, yeah, wait, where are they at? Okay. But I guess if that's the case, then yeah. I mean, he also just got it, so I mean, I wouldn't have him winning anyway. But regardless,
I mean, I can see him losing it to his brother, though.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna lose it to anybody.
Because Jacob wasn't there, so
yeah.
But it seems like he's not gonna lose back-to-back nights. But it's his big brother. You know, anything happens between that. You know, that's an interesting wrench that you can have. Where it's like, you know, you might be able to put the titles off, you know, for a month or two.
Yeah, yeah.
I did have this as a mid-rising, and I said this when we were watching it. Ron Killings.
I bet that's fake,
as over Aleister Black. And like I said, when we were watching it, I was like, this is one of the few cases where usually if this was to happen, or if this would happen before, it'd be like, oh, Aleister Black just got back and he's now taking losses to like R-Truth. And it's like, well, yeah, if you're talking about like the comedic R-Truth, yeah, that would look a little spotty and just like questionable from a WWE decision making. But I think from the character change and development that R-Truth has gone from like the past month that we've seen, and him being a much more serious character and wanting to put respect on his name, getting the win against Aleister Black, him being tight, and Damian Priest being basically the Will Ospreay in this situation for the WWE side as far as their storyline between like, you know, Hangman and Swerve, was like R-Truth and Aleister Black. Aleister Black just basically beat him up backstage. And so I thought this worked well for everyone involved, for both Aleister Black and Ron Truth.
Yeah.
So Ron Killing. So mid-rising, and I'm curious to see how this kind of continues.
I think I put this as a shake for the feeling of like how clogged this weekend is. I think almost by like a default thing where I felt like the show was overall so mid, but I do like the utility of Truth, you know, because obviously he's out of like the Cena thing. You know, he already had a shot and lost, or not a shot, but had a match with him. But still using this character to even like, you're still putting over people, but putting him over. I mean, he lost, like Aleister Black lost, but you're putting him over in storyline that it looks like we're gonna get a serious storyline with him and Priest.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So it's like that's just like the prelude that got us to like where we're at now, and like we end that whole segment because even like by the end of this whole segment, Damian Priest is laying on the ground dizzy.
Yeah,
with after a black mass, and Ron Truth don't even know that shit happened. He walked off. So that's what you get for sticking your nose in people's business. Because I ain't gonna lie, like as Priest like stopped Aleister Black backstage, and he was like, "Hey, chill out. You know, I know you're mad. Yada yada. You just let it go." And he was like, "You're right." I honestly believed it for like half a second, and he was like, "You know what? That was, if anything, I'm just saying, good acting by Aleister. I believed it." Where I was like, oh shit, he's just gonna let this go. He's like, nigga, psych. Hey, hi-ya, nigga. Like, he gave him those Dutch roundhouses and shit. Black mass, bitch. Mind your fucking business. Like, I was like, all right, Ballister. Yeah, that's dope.
I did have one Reggie.
Okay.
The whole Logan Paul Joey Roll.
Yeah.
Sure. I couldn't care less about that segment. Yeah. And I'm not looking forward to
Tennessee, yeah.
The Slam, whatever. Like, well, whack. Yeah. I don't care for it. They immediately skip. Yeah. Shoot fly don't bother me. Mm-hmm. That's
agree.
It for SmackDown.
Yeah, that's it. Get into these predictions.
All right, let's start off with the warm-up. And the warm-up is the one that we don't count. And that's Saturday night's main event.
All right.
Right now, we have 4 matches. I'm going to check just in case. Yep, still 4 matches. This is not in card order, but we'll go with it. Mm-hmm. World Heavyweight Championship match. Gunther, Goldberg.
Yep. Oh, easy. Gunther, for sure. Gunther. I said they better not put the strap on Goldberg. I'll be so mad.
I can see Goldberg winning.
I'll be so mad.
If Goldberg wins, Seth is cashing in.
Yeah, that's an easy. Yeah, that's a good call. LA Knight and Seth.
Kaz made a good point on the Masked Man on their predictions, talking about how you got the money in the bank, you could take losses. Mm-hmm. And I think LA Knight needs this win. And I could see them giving someone like Bronson Reed a little bit more focus, or maybe Braun Breaker, probably Bronson Reed, a little bit focus on, like, let you go figure out LA Knight.
Yeah.
And, well, after, because we still need to get our payback.
Exactly.
Against
He's not going to disrespect me like that.
Yeah, I'm going to go with LA Knight.
Yep, obvious also. Same thing, LA Knight. Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre. I think this is the hardest one to predict. This is the one where I would want to say Drew, because I think this is Drew's. Yeah. So that's
he took an RKO.
Yeah. I mean, he did clay. Oh, yeah, that happened. He Claymored him during the segment. That was the Reggie. So he Claymored him yesterday. But, I mean, I don't know. Just off. Huh?
You gave that Reggie?
Well, that was part of the segment with Jelly Roll. Yeah. I was saying I agreed with you, remember? Because Randy Orton came out and started berating Logan Paul.
But yeah, I totally blanked out on that. But I'm like,
if you forgot it, it's Reggie. So yeah. But yeah, just off the strength of him coming back, I'm gonna pick Drew.
Yeah, and I think Randy needs to go on his downfall. Though again, they just said that Jelly Roll is gonna be there. And Randy's corner,
to back him up.
Logan Paul is gonna be there. I guess.
Would Logan Paul go out of his way to help Drew McIntyre? I mean, I guess.
I don't think he's helping Drew McIntyre, more so saying an F you to Randy and Jelly Roll. Sure. Jimmy Uso, Solo.
Yeah. Solo. That's what I would have. For the United States Championship.
I think Jimmy getting the win last night basically guaranteed it.
Yeah.
But that's why we don't count Saturday Night Night's main event, because these are pretty easy cards to predict. And it's like, we're going to have, if we did, it'd just be a bunch of ties, because it'd just be a little too predictable to call out. Let's get into
NXT. NXT is low-key easy to predict if you're like tapped in, if they got some good shit going on.
Yeah.
But I'm like, this is one of those times where I'm like, going into this, where I'm like, I mean, as far as like my interest, like not as far as like predictability. That's what's making the predictability a little bit more difficult. But on the card, NXT Championship, Obafemi versus Yoshiki Inamura.
As much as I would love Inamura to win this, he ain't winning this.
No, he better not. Obafemi's winning this. Okay.
It's gonna be a great match. This is actually probably my show stealer. If it's not like easier one, like I said yesterday, it was probably going to be like Okada versus Omega, but that's just by nature that's like the third, power ranking
of AEW's
card. I'm like, I think if you have to widen the gauntlet, I think Obafemi Uemura is probably might be the secret.
Yeah, of the weekend.
Yeah, of the weekend.
We have the tag match: Jordan Grace and Blake Monroe versus Fatal Influence. I'm going with the faces here. It's Blake Monroe's debut. So
that's fair. That's fair.
That's all. That's all.
It makes it a little bit more intriguing because I'm like Jordan Grace also has her championship match the next night on Evolution, and I'm like, is she gonna win back-to-back nights, or is she just going to win tonight and then lose tomorrow?
Lose tomorrow, yeah.
But I'll go with you. I'll go Blake and Grace.
Yeah. Women's NXT North, it's NXT. Women's North American Championship, Sol Ruca versus Izzy Dame. This is like one of those matches where I gave you the preface in the beginning where I'm like, it gives me difficulty because I'm not that I'm not as engaged. I don't think it's as like it's a B-list NXT show. You know what I'm saying? Or PLE, like by their version of like rankings. You know what I mean? Because it's like their manias, takeover and shit like that. So. But for this one, I'm like, could Izzy Dame win this? She has a faction behind her. You know what I mean? It's all guys, but like, that's why I'm thinking the guys don't interact. Oh yeah, that's true now. I forgot. Yeah, that's right. She just joined the calling, so maybe that tips it in her favor.
Zarya might, not accidentally interfere, but cause like some type of accident to give Sol Ruca to lose her balance or her attention or whatever, and then Izzy Dame takes the win.
Yeah. I just don't. I mean, I could believe that. I would think the odds, like the betting odds on it, are like 2-1. Sol Ruca. I'm just gonna go with the betting odds if they're made up or whatever. Because I'm like, I believe Izzy. I'm not saying Izzy doesn't have a chance, but once again, with me not like, I'm like, is that enough? Like, all right, Tatum Paxley sort of betrayed Zaruka with the culling now. I guess like she could do that again. I mean, sure, but I'm gonna go with Sol Ruca. That's my pick. I could easily see Izzy Dame winning this on a
I kind of want to pick Izzy
rematch.
Dame, even though I hate to pick against Sol Ruca. But I feel like there has to be a payoff of Izzy Dame getting Tatum Paxley to be on her side.
Yeah. I mean, that's a possibility. I just don't like. I'm like, I don't know.
I'm gonna go Izzy Dame. I hate to do that to you, Sol Ruca, but I think the numbers don't lie, and I think the fact that Tatum Paxley joined and Zarya just seems to be a klutz in her interference. That I'm just like, I feel like some accidental misinterpreted interference is going to happen. Sol Ruca and then Tatum Paxley. I think just some shenanigans is going to happen when you get a title change.
I mean, not for nothing with seeing Sol Ruca on SmackDown for the first time ever, also. So that does line up with that theory that maybe she's getting called up. So it's like, I'm just saying because we just are this week.
SummerSlam would make sense.
Yeah, I'm just saying. So it's like
position her to like go after like the United States Championship, maybe.
So I was like, that would make sense to get the belt off of her. I ain't completely mad at even just adding it up. That's why I said Izzy Dame got a chance for sure. But I'm like, because it's not like Sol Ruca's had like, I guess their story has been literally Tatum Paxley. That's been the whole thing between them. So you got that to go off of. Yeah, sure. Falls Count Anywhere match for the North American title. Ricky Saints versus Ethan Page, the champion. I'm definitely going Ricky Saints.
This is where I was hesitating on Izzy Dame because I was like, am I gonna have two title changes? Because originally I was gonna go Ricky Saints, but I'm like, are they gonna do two title changes?
Yeah, sure. It is. It's not typical. It's not either one of the top titles.
It's not typical of them to do that. I would say the fact that Ricky doesn't have a crew behind him, and it's a Falls Count Anywhere match. The numbers don't lie, and they spell disaster for him. Because you have Vanity Project that can come in and just jump him and then hold him down, and they can easily put a pallet on top of the dude with a forklift like they did Mankind did to The Rock.
Yeah,
and easily get the 10 count. So or whatever the pinfall, whatever it may be. So I think Ethan Page.
He gets a sniveling heel smart win. Yeah, that's a good.
You might get. I believe maybe Ethan Page gets. Ricky Saints gets it back at Heatwave maybe.
Yeah. Javon Evans versus Jasper Troy. This is one I'm not really. Jasper Troy.
He's intimidating.
He's new. I mean, he's still. It's just that he's still green. I think. I'm like, like I understand he's a presence physically and stuff, but he still looks kind of awkward to me. Like, I'm not into him quite yet. I'm not like this is one of those like just literally off of the strength of like not as strong as like Hank and Tank. It's not like I hate him like that, but just off the strength of like I ain't feeling it right now. I'm gonna go with Javon. I'm sure Jasper is probably the right answer. You know, he's the newer guy. You know, trying to establish himself in the division and all that type of stuff, and not to mention he obviously outweighs him by 80 pounds.
Yeah,
like duh. So I just ain't fucking with it. Like personally,
I'll
so
go Jasper.
I'm going Javon.
I feel like Javon is kind of banged up, and then Jasper is kind of like, just way too much of a force. Like Javon's gonna fight his ass off. He's gonna be same thing, but he's not at the diamond resilience yet.
Yeah, that's it. I'm sure it's like this is where I'm betting against my own. Like in my mind, this is definitely not the betting favorite. Javon Evans. He shouldn't be. I don't think so.
Yeah,
but
well, so we have three different. We differ on three opinions. So we agree on Obafemi and Blake and Grace both winning their matches, but we differ on the women's North American Championship, the men's North American Championship, and Javon Evans, Jackson Troy.
I gave you that one.
What?
Once again. That Javon Evans, because I was like, or not I gave it to you literally, but once again, in the sense that I just said that, like, I know I shouldn't be picking Javon Evans, but I'm
Javon
like,
Evans can win.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. But he has a chance. That's why I feel comfortable enough also picking him, but I'm like,
I can understand that. Yeah. But that's the first point on the board. Let's just run through the WWE shows because, they're not the main shows this weekend. So let's go through Evolution. Mm-hmm. Right now we have still 7 cards on the match.
7 matches on the card.
7 matches on the card. Again, not in any kind of order specifically, but NXT Women's Championship, JC Jane versus Jordan Grace.
I'd say JC Jane. This will be like, this would be like Jordan's like 4th time challenging. So it's a lot.
I would say 3rd.
It's a lot. It's 3rd or 4th.
Yeah.
Either way. I mean, how long does JC hold the title? You know what I'm saying is the question. Because Fallon Henley held in North America for like 3 months.
Just won it, so it'd be like she just be a transitional champ, then take it off of what was it? Roxanne, not Roxanne. It was
Stephanie Becker.
Took it off Stephanie Becker, and then she was gonna hold it to Jordan Grace. So it's like for a month.
That's rough.
Does Blake Monroe have anything to do with Jordan Grace possibly losing this match?
I would think that would be quick. Literally, she's been here 2 weeks, like 3 weeks. So it's like we wouldn't be. I don't think that's enough time for us to even like really care, or like not that we wouldn't care, but like just you got to give us the relationship so you can break it apart. You know what I mean? Like she literally just debuted, and it's like I would think that would also be like something. I don't want to say for the smart fans, but it's like that's very Mariah May of her. Like that's what's on our minds because we know who Mariah May was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's why it's like, okay, yeah, we can see her backstabbing Jordan Grace immediately. You know what I'm saying? If that wasn't for the Tony shit, I wouldn't be thinking that. But I wouldn't have her do it yet. She could. She wants to be like, I don't know. I just think it's quick for her to like, if that's the finish of the match, like Blake coming down and interfering. I could see better yet. I would see Blake attempting to help, like actually trying to help, but getting in the way. I could see that more likely than her turning, like just already.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna give some respect to JC Jane and say that you're more than just a 1 month champ. So I go JC Jane as well. Mm-hmm. Women's 4-way tag team, Judgment Day, Charlotte and Alexa, Sol Ruka and Zarya, and the Kabuki Warriors.
I think this is a 2-team race. I would think that this is either Charlotte and Alexa, or we're continuing Judgment Day. Because I would think if Judgment Day is retaining, that just means that the Kabuki Warriors are going to get them off of them eventually. I like SummerSlam.
Yeah,
that's what that would mean. So it's either Charlotte and Alexa are winning now, or the Kabuki Warriors are winning at SummerSlam. Because I don't know what you're gonna do at SummerSlam with the women's tag team titles for Charlotte and Alexa.
Retaining it. They just got all the gold.
Or that's what I'm saying. Yeah, they would retain, so the Kabuki Warriors could win it at SummerSlam. Yeah. Shit, my bad. Yeah. So Charlotte, but they've been giving us a hell of a lot of Charlotte and Alexa, like having this frenemy relationship. Mm-hmm. So, but I mean, also the backbone of that has been Charlotte saying like, "I don't need friends," or "We're not friends," or some shit. Even Alexa had on the "We're not friends" shirt, like yesterday. So, I mean, granted, that's very heavy-handed. Do you think that's heavy-handed? Like, oh, they're just gonna like break up and have a rivalry or something like that, or are they actually gonna?
I think the Kabuki Warriors are more likely to break up and have a rivalry than Charlotte and Alexa. Yeah, I'm gonna go Charlotte and Alexa.
Yeah. It was between those two, but yeah, that's who I was favoring, is Charlotte and Alexa. Yeah.
Again, it's kind of hard to pick against Charlotte. And then you also actually got to put some respect on her name. It's like they're the two most
the senior. They're the OGs senior, now. They're like, super OGs
and stuff like that. Yeah. Like it's kind of hard to pick against them. And then in my bookings, Sol Ruka and Zarya might be on the fritz because Sol Ruka in my booking loses her title to Izzy Dame the night before. So, we'll see how that plays out. We'll come back to the Battle Royal because
I don't even want to think about like even like AEWs. It's like, oh shit, the gauntlet match. It's like there's so many, but you just got to pull one out of your ass.
Women's Championship: Trish Stratus versus Tiffany Stratton.
I mean, Tiffany's been a heel. Like you got to work heel against Trish, but I'm like, yo, she is laying it on super thick, dog. Like, is Trish gonna be an 8-time champion?
I think Tiffany.
It's not crazy.
Like pulling the tights.
Yeah. I would go with Tiffany. I think this is similar to like, it's not as egregious as, Goldberg challenging, but because we saw that, Trish can still work. She was just working with, Becky last year. So she can still go. So it's not
she's working with Tiffany.
Was it Tiffany last year?
Yeah, because they did Toronto at Elimination Chamber.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like, you're right. Tag team partner.
Yeah. No holds barred match, Jade Cargill versus Naomi. I'm going Jade. You got to keep her strong before SummerSlam.
Yeah, I think, again, Naomi has the briefcase, and the briefcase keeps her,
indestructible. She has
so it's like, I think Jade gets the win, and then, Jade still has her championship match at SummerSlam that Naomi has all the opportunity to screw out of her winning her title. So. I see, Jade gets the win at the No Holds Barred match. That should be a fun match.
Yeah.
I think this is also the secret sleeper coming up here.
Yeah,
Women's triple threat.
Secret sleeper, yep.
Intercontinental match. Becky Lynch, Bayley, Lyra. Now, I mentioned yesterday when we were talking that I'm annoyed from a storyline perspective of Lyra in this feud. This match is going to be great, but from a storyline perspective, Lyra is just so annoying. I'm like, little girl. Stay out of grown folks' business.
She's being Rhea before Mania. That's the same thing.
That's what I said too. I was like, this is annoying, and you're just being childish. You lost fair and square, in my opinion. Like Michael Cole tries to sell it. Oh, she pulled the tights. Well, the camera angle didn't really show it that way, even though many times you try to show that. So you lost. You had to hold up your end of the deal of the bet of how the stipulations of the match was, where it was holding up her hand, and you did it, and then you couldn't be. You're now interfering in Bayley's matches because you're tight. And I'm like, this is where it makes it feel weird because with Rhea, it was the same thing. Like, Rhea's so over that, or she's supposed to be the face in this, that, who cares if Rhea bitches and complains her way into
the championship match,
even though she legitimately lost her title.
Yeah. Back in the line, girl.
Yeah. And so the same thing with Lyra. It's like, yo, stop messing with grown folks' business. Yeah. And you're just coming out here being childish and saying all this stuff, saying like, Bayley and Becky are embarrassments or whatever, stuff like that. I'm like, girl, like, who are you talking to? You just got here. And this is all, I say this all as a character and entertainment, not anything personal of Lyra the person. But as far as the way she's fit into the storyline, I just can't vibe with it. I think Becky wins. I think this is more gearing up to Becky and, Bayley and Lyra getting a one-on-one adventure. So I get Becky retaining.
Yeah. My thought is that when you look at these three, the only person who hasn't held the belt is Bailey.
Yeah.
I'm like, that could happen at SummerSlam also. Because I'm like, how many title changes do we have? We don't have any title changes right now. So, except for the tag team championship. We have the tag team championship change.
Clash in Paris.
Or Clash in Paris, sure.
If you're going to have Lyra versus Bailey for a number one contenders match at SummerSlam for a championship shot at Clash of Champions, I can see that. Clash at Paris. Clash in Paris.
Have the number one contendership on SummerSlam.
Yeah, and then they would then go on to Clash in Paris to face Becky for the Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah. Well, and also my thought is like, I mean, Becky, it's been a month. Also, like that's quick for a legend to hold the title. But then again, there's also the thought of like, since she is one of like the more senior OG legends, she knows she's doing a favor for the title.
Yeah.
So it's like she's not gonna have an issue with like dropping the women's IC title. You know what I mean? That's also just what's in my head.
Yeah, but she's also the second person to hold the title, and so you're still building that credibility.
The legacy, but even if you lose quickly and you lose quickly to Bailey, then I'm like, that's still credible. Like once again, we're talking about the 4 horsewomen. You know what I mean? So it's like there's literally no wrong answer in this match, is what I believe. Because if Lyra wins, that just first 2 time, and she beat 2 horsewomen. Yeah. Now, she was standing tall on Raw, which is why I don't think she's winning. But if she won, that would be sick as fuck for her character.
Yeah,
to come out.
I still wouldn't like the childish attitude getting rewarded, but sure.
Yeah.
Before we get into the
Becky, I agree once again.
Yeah, before we get into the I guess the main event, as we would say in this card.
Sure.
Let's get into that women's battle royal for the championship match at the World Championship match at Clash in Paris. So the announced participants.
Okay, sure.
Stephanie Vaquer, Ivy Nile, Nia Jax, Nikki Bella, Natalya, Maxine Dupree, Kalani Jordan, Jada Parker, Lola Vice, Last Legend, Izzy Dane, Tatum Paxley, Selena Vega.
Number this out. Still? Sure. Okay, good. I'm at 3%, so
I'm like, Izzy Dane, Tatum Paxley, Zelina Vega, Julia, Candice Ray, B-Fab, Meechin, Chelsea Green, Piper Niven, Alba Fire. There's possibly a rumor, maybe AJ Lee shows up at the show. But with those names,
Stephanie Vaquer is the most over. I mean, she's like the one with a rocket on her back and like over like Rover. Because once again, you talk about pops, nigga.
Yeah.
You talk about pops. Stephanie Vaquer in Paris. We just saw Jey Uso, man event Jey Uso in Paris. You think that's not gonna be a pop when she comes out there? I mean, granted, it's a battle royal, so it's a fuckload to choose from. But like, I mean, she is like the one like that's most like. Read it again real quick, because
Stephanie Vaquer, Ivy Nile, Nia Jax, Nikki Bella, Natalya, Maxine Dupree, Kalani Jordan, Jada Parker, Lola Vice, Last Legend, Izzy Dane, Tatum Paxley, Zelina Vega, Julia, Candice LeRae, B-Fab, Meechin, Chelsea Green, Piper Niven, Alba Fire.
Ain't none of the NXT girls went in, so they're just in there for battle royal purposes. So. Who else is floating at the top of your head right now? You're actually looking at the list. Yeah, Nikki, they've been featuring her a lot for sure.
And you want to have her at champion? I can see her.
I mean, that's a pop for her too. Also, at Paris. Yeah, that'd be a pop for her.
Against Tiffany Stratton.
That's a good booking.
I wouldn't be surprised at that.
That's after SummerSlam, right?
Yeah, it's like 2 weeks after SummerSlam.
Yeah, I mean, you're right about that with Nikki. I mean, Stephanie Vaquer ain't going anywhere. So it's like, I mean, how quickly do you want to put her into that,
I can
slot her at the top of the card?
It was Julia on SmackDown, right? And she's the U.S. champion. So I was going to say, I can see Julia going after maybe Io, but if she was on Raw, that would make sense.
That would make sense, yeah.
But same thing, like Nikki Bella's she's been on Raw, but she's not really on a brand.
Yeah, she's a legend. Yeah, so it's like she can go anywhere. She can float. Yeah. I like the Nikki Bella thing, like you bringing her up, just because, like, yeah, Stephanie Vaquer, I think in the moment, it's like she would be the obvious, like, if we're gonna go like technical, like kayfabe ability right now, she has the highest rating on like WWE 2K right now. So, but for them to be featuring Nikki, I mean, I could see them very clearly being like the last two, and like you get the dramatic spot of like,
So Stephanie wins. She probably goes after Io, or actually it'd be Rhea. Because
I'm picking Rhea. I'm picking Rhea.
To beat Io.
They're not going to have Io be a champion for Mania and SummerSlam. They're going to want a bigger match than that. So yeah.
If we're going Rhea, then I guess it's Stephanie Vaquer.
Mm. Yeah, that would be a great fucking match. She can
I'd
take
rather
that
have
L right
Stephanie
now.
Vaquero versus Rhea than Nikki Bella.
That's a huge match at
Rhea.
SummerSlam. Or Clash in Paris.
Yeah.
And a huge pop for sure.
So I'll go.
That's impressive, yeah. With all the logic adding up, yeah. Because
Yeah.
like Nikki Bella would be going after Tiffany. That's like the Barbie brand over there for sure.
So
with SmackDown,
we just killed 2 birds with 1 stone.
I knew that's why you wanted to like go jump back to the fucking Battle Royal because I had Rhea locked in my head already too because it's like even just before Mania when Io beat her again, they were like, you've never beaten her, and
they are heavy-handed as hell.
Yeah, back then, like a few months ago.
Yeah. Now, even with that, they're talking about how like Io is always beating Rhea and Rhea's 0-6.
She's 0-6, yeah.
And it's just like y'all really leaning heavy-handed into that like you're gonna give Rhea the win here. Yeah. And she's gonna be a champion. I think Stephanie Vaquero versus
Rhea. That's
Rhea
a good at Clash of Paris.
Yeah. Damn. We went.
I ain't mad at that.
We got a tie.
Yeah. Well, I'm just impressed with that with the number of matches. That's all.
Yeah. But that's our evolution. So we already know we're coming out a tie on that. So let's get into the main card, the biggest show of the weekend. It starts in about an hour. The pre-show just started. We have 9 matches on here. I haven't had the 9th. I haven't had the time to add the 9th match, but the 9th match, and I'll just add, I guess, I'll do it right now on the doc. But it is a trios championship match. The Ops versus the Death Riders.
Yeah.
Who you got?
Ops versus Death Riders. Woo! It's funny because this ties into the main event, right? Death Riders all the gold, or they could have all the gold still by the end of the night. Mm-hmm. Because the Ops are the trios champions right now, right?
Yeah.
Samoa Joe and all of them. So, how long have they been champs? Does it feel long? Does it feel overcooked to you? The Ops right now are trios champs.
No, but I don't really see them that often.
I just think the second you get the trios titles, unless you're the Death Riders, you're just off TV, until it's like time for your like title match. Mm-hmm. Like basically, there's never like too much story with the trios like division.
Yeah. I'll go Ops.
I would want to have the Ops anyway. We're gonna talk through it anyway. The Ops 3-way tag team match for the AEW World Tag Team Championship, Hurt Syndicate, Jet Speed, and the Patriarchy. This is where I think this is a good one. Well, I think we'll split here because I'm gonna go with like the wounded beast theory. I think this is probably not underappreciated, but like I said, also like a lesser like betting odds because, as I said, storyline or just be bigger than them. They can't be bigger than them, but Jet Speed has been given the most storyline. Mm-hmm. So from that thought process, I could see them winning it and like Patriarchy, they're just thrown in there. Really. I think that's like
I almost feel like picking the Patriarchy just because the fact I'm like Christian is so conniving that I could just see him just like
him and Edge got that ultimate opportunist. They'll make their way in there
just
and
be able to like get that match. And I feel like you can still have the Jet Speed and Hurt Syndicate kind of continue their rivalry without them either having the belts and them eventually coming after Christian, who's just being this conniving, sliveling heel. And so I kind of want to pick the
Patriarchy as you say that because it's like this is also in my mind. I'm like, this is the biggest show of the year.
Yeah.
So it's like if you're gonna change the titles, then do it now. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean they've been completely untouchable.
Yeah.
And so for them to come in wounded, I was just gonna say that like Lashley's just gonna be like, nah, nigga, that shit was fake. Like, you know what I'm saying? Kind of like when I was like, if anybody could, it would be Lashley. You know, similar to like when Braun Strowman took the tsunami on top of a car. I'm like, anybody's gonna come back next week, it's gonna be Braun Strowman.
Facts.
So, because it's only gonna take one fucking spear to Christian, to still put his ass the fuck down. So, that's my thought. I mean, but you're right. The conniving, he's maximum diamond level conniving or manipulator for sure. I'm willing to take that swing on. Am I? I'll actually Jet Speed.
I wouldn't be surprised Jet Speed winning. I think they're.
I
would say they're the favorites.
Are they actually the favorites? Yeah, man. I mean, they're definitely over. I mean, everybody's over with the crowd. I mean, they love the Hurt Syndicate too. Yeah, I guess I'll go with like fuck it. I mean, we're gonna be split on this. I'll go with jet speed. I'm very shaky on this. That's what I'm saying. It's like all of this is very
I'm gonna go patriarchy.
yeah. Okay, here's one of my easy ones. Thank God. AEW TNT Championship. Adam Cole, the champion, versus Kyle Fletcher. Fletcher, you are taking the title, my boy.
How long is Adam Cole?
I don't care.
I
don't care. They're dead in the water. Paragon's dead in the. I don't care. At least for me personally, I'm picking Kyle Fletcher. You know, he was on my fucking guys of the year last year. He's one of my guys. So I'm like, fuck, there's no way I'm not picking Kyle Fletcher right here.
Yeah, I'm going with Kyle Fletcher as well. Stipulation match. Swerve Strickland and Ospreay versus the Young Bucks. If the Young Bucks lose, they have to give up their EVP titles. If Ospreay and Swerve lose, they can't challenge for the world title for a year.
Yeah, Young Bucks. That's an easy pick for me. Also,
you think you think Swerve and
lose? Yes, I think they lose.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go with that. I'll go with that.
What's your thought process?
It's the fact that I'm so kind of guaranteed that Hangman is going to win that I'm like, you got to have some doubt creep in.
Yeah.
And I feel like, the fact that
it's funny because that's why I have Jet Speed winning, because I think they're the happy thing.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That would be the face look, because you don't want the patriarchy to win. But yeah, I understand that. You need to have some feel good at least.
I think the big feel good is going to be, spoiler alert, Hangman winning the title. That I think that you're going to have to create some shock and awe of like, oh wow, like Swerve and Hangman are not going to immediately get into a rivalry for this belt. You know what I'm saying? Like he's going to have to wait.
Yeah.
And so, I'll go Young Bucks.
We'll come back to the gauntlet matches once again. Can you look up the?
Yeah, I'll bring them up. They're in the Wikipedia. Let's get into the winner takes all match. Okada, Omega.
This is the most difficult. Like where I'm like, this is just like,
I think
this is shoot it into my veins. Like we're gonna be tripping on shrooms as we're watching this. This is gonna be fucking amazing. Yeah. Like this is Okada and Omega 5.
Yeah, I think it's easy enough.
I don't know if it's easy, but
this is Omega.
I would say Omega, but the only reason I'm picking that because it's his country now, or like his continent at least. You know what I'm saying? So it's very similarly like when he came over there and Okada was effectively Bret Hart. I'm like, that's where I have. Also, this is a high moment, but it's like, how many high moments are we gonna have? You know, because it's like between Omega and Hangman, that's about as good as you want it to be. Shit, I mean, Omega.
I go Omega.
AEW Women's World Championship, timeless Toni Storm versus the Beyonce of wrestling. She calls herself the CEO, Mercedes Moné. I think this is easy. Also, I've been saying this the whole time. Mercedes is winning this.
Yeah, like, I think it's a little bit more harder than Okada and Omega for me. I think there's definitely a chance that
I think it's easier than Okada
that Tony can retain. But I'm gonna go Mercedes. I think it's easy. I think you have 7 belts on her, and you move
take a vacation, Tony. Jesus, that's where I'm at. Like I'm like, she has not. The only time she
break before when she came back before she lost her memory.
I was gonna say that's the only time when she lost to Mariah May. That's her last break she had, which that's over a year ago. Man, she can carry it out in the back. Yeah, that's like I just want to say this also on Wax that I told you, like, man, my booking for Mercedes is like have her be 7 belts Monet, and then the very literally next week on Dynamite have her lose the TBS title.
Yeah,
the very next episode.
She's defending it next week. Yeah,
she's gonna lose. She's gonna lose immediately, and then she's gonna start clinging on to all of her fucking belts, and very quickly, almost like Max Caster. It'd be like, damn, she lost that belt. We'll just show up and we ain't watching the international one, so it's like, dang, we'll just see every 2 weeks she'll lose another one until she's fucking Gollum and she ain't wearing her makeup no more and she got bad weave and shit. Like her hair gonna be locking up and shit. She gonna be like a crackhead, just clinging to the AEW title. Basically Mercedes Moné as the Blackheart Tommaso Ciampa from NXT when he was clinging to Goldie. That's what I want. Yeah, that'd be funny as shit. And then what we all believe is the most locked things happening for this show, the Texas Death Match for the AEW World Title, Jon Moxley versus Hangman Page.
Yeah,
I gave you my counter argument last night.
Yeah, you made a
I made a compelling argument.
Compelling argument as to how Jon Moxley can retain with the help of Swerve. You know, we talked it out how it could all lead you into All-In next year in London and Ospreay getting the championship. Yeah, that ain't happening.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, that was still like we even said I was like, what's the actual percentage that Swerve?
Like right now, I think 10% that they give Jon Moxley the retaining. Yeah. If Tony had the balls and went with the kind of like, you know, prediction of like, you know, this was WrestleMania 39 and not WrestleMania 40, I would say if Tony had the courage to do that, 25%.
Yeah, because like I said, we're all expecting. We haven't seen the title in a year, or 9 months. It hasn't even been a year, which is crazy. So it just feels like that long. Close to it. Yeah, but or 10 months. I think that's 10 months. But either way, WrestleMania 39, effectively Swerve. Right? We know Swerve is going to come down and help, right? That's what we all waiting for, right? Mm-hmm. How much should we be watching Collision? Which is why I say that's a primo.
Right now, based on both our bookings, he can't challenge for the title.
He can't challenge. He can't challenge. So that puts him in the unified championship division.
He can't challenge for the title for a year.
Exactly. And that's why I said my booking next year would be All-In Paris. I don't know, wherever the fuck they are. Wembley. Yeah, London. Yeah. Ospreay's winning the title off of Moxley. Because even he did the whole speech like a month ago, a month and a half, 2 months ago. It's not him or it's not you. You're not the guy. I'm not the guy. He's the guy. And it's like, no, you were the guy.
Yeah.
And have Ospreay beat Moxley and have Hangman beat Swerve for the unified title. I'm just fast forwarding that he got that belt on him. Since he can't challenge for the AEW title, he'll win the unified title and Hangman will take that off of him. And then that's your super face nut that you can bust next year.
Yeah, that ain't happening.
Yeah, I agree. But I'm just like, it's a really good story, though.
A lot of good fantasy booking.
It's good fantasy booking.
You gotta just take what they're kind of showing you on TV and be like, all right, see, we've been talking about this. I feel like this is the most given match of the card that Hangman. But again, that's how we felt about Cody going into 39.
Exactly. Sometimes you like a nice round number. You know what
I'm saying? Let me get the
Casino Gauntlet matches.
So Casino Gauntlet for the women's. We only know two people right now. That's Chris Statlander and Megan Bayne. Starting 1 and 2. Who do you have for thoughts, predictions on who might appear and who's your favorite?
Oh man, I'm just so bad at like all the battle royals, like the party matches like that. Like thinking about it's like getting put on a game show, like Family Feud, and it's like you're watching it on at home, and you're like, how do you not know this shit, nigga?
I'll give you. For this one, we'll put 2.
I'm sure
we'll do 2. Like kind of like what we did for the World one, where we pick 3. We'll do 2. Mm-hmm. So you pick your first one will be your primary, and you have a secondary backup one.
Yeah, I would have. We're gonna have Megan Bayne win.
My primary would be Megan
Bayne. That's probably my primary. Yeah, I would have her first. Like also immediately besides, you know, Chris Statlander, Thunder Rosa comes to my head. Who else? I don't know if this is CMLL. I'm trying to think of just like who's gonna be on that par, like in order to like challenge Mercedes for the first time. But then again, it doesn't have to be like a super OD. Like you know, it's gonna be at All Out. I would assume that's the next pay-per-view. It's like a few weeks after All In. So
yeah.
Definitely, yeah, Megan Bayne is the primary right now. Might as well. Actually, I'm gonna look up the AEW women's roster.
I would say my 2 would be Willow.
Willow, yeah. Willow's on that tier. Oh, yeah, because that's a match we want to see. Again, for sure.
I'll go Megan Bayne 1, Willow 2. I think someone from the starting 2 is going to be winning it in the women's match. I don't believe that for the men.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. So for the men's, we have Mark Briscoe and MJF will be starting first and second, but there's also been Bandito, Brody King, Mystico, and Ricochet have also been announced for the match. Mm-hmm. There's been possible Keith Lee, Daniel Bryan, what's your guy? Eddie Kingston.
Eddie Kingston. I would love Eddie Kingston to come back. I miss Eddie Kingston so much.
Who else could be the person? Darby Allin?
Darby, there you go. Darby's a good one. He's done with Everest, so hopefully that would be fire if he's like the ace or whatever, like the last one to come into the gauntlet.
Yeah.
And you hear the guitar strums. That's a good one. I like Darby. I mean, actually, yeah, fuck it. I like Darby. I mean, it's a shot in the dark anyway.
Is that going to be your primary?
He's my swing. I just know he's my swing right now. He'll be my number 2. MJF? Yeah.
That's it. If the women's I got as one of the 1 or 2, the first 2 entrants winning it, I don't believe that's happening. I feel like MJF and Mark Briscoe are gonna have a feud that doesn't revolve around the title.
Yeah.
So that's why I feel a little bit more inclined to picking.
That'd be a good spot for Ricochet.
Else.
That'd be a really good spot for Ricochet because, like I said, it's just all out. So
Ricochet against Hangman.
So that's gonna be a great match. And that shit's gonna go to his head. And he got the Gates of Agony with him now. Yeah, I'm gonna go Ricochet. Fuck it. It's a shot in the dark. So
I'm gonna go
Ricochet and who did I just say? Fucking Darby Allin is my swing. Yeah.
I'm gonna go Darby Allin as 1.
And low key probably should be that way. You're not. Well, we got Hangman. So it's like I'm not gonna have him come back and then get his head knocked off by Hangman.
Yeah,
so that'd be dope.
I'll go maybe. I guess it's Takeshita in a match.
No, I think he'll probably be in there. Yeah, he'll be in there.
I go Takeshita.
Shit, I'd rather pick Takeshita than Ricochet.
Those are my primaries. So Darby Allin is 1, Takeshita 2.
Yeah.
I was gonna say maybe Eddie Kingston, but I'm like, you can't have 2 people that just returned.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Darby's bigger than
one of them's got to be on television the past few weeks, and I'm gonna give it to Takeshita.
Yeah, he'll be.
And then Takeshita size versus Hangman, and then Takeshita having the what's that? What's the Paul Heyman equivalent?
The Don Callis family.
Yeah, the Don Callis family. I think that could work.
Yeah. So. And that's the thing. I mean, that's where I have like Fletcher booked to win because like the Don Callis family is gonna need gold on them.
Yeah.
As many of those motherfuckers there are, you need at least 1 strap. I mean, come on, Jesus. Okay, I'll default. I can't even think of like another girl, but like Willow is dope, and obviously we know that rivalry is built in. I'm not gonna sit here and hold this up.
We're tying on the women's casino gauntlet on the pick.
I don't care. I'm not putting thought into it right now. But it's 20 something of them there. Like I said, Megan Bain is my choice. Like for sure. And like I said, at least Willow has a story with her, so it makes sense.
All right. Those are our predictions for all the wrestling that's happening this weekend. It starts off in 45 minutes or less.
Thank God.
Let's get to our champions of the week and close this show out. So I have 2 champions this week. First one, Miles Logan from Blue Streak. This goes to Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman. This is the you're Mexican? Yeah, on my mother's father's side, I'm Mexican. To Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins, because Paul Heyman cut 2 promos in Spanish this week on Monday Night Raw, and the first time it happened was in the ring, and he was directed to Penta, but you could see Seth Rollins walk up to Bronson Reed as Paul Heyman is cutting these promos, and then he asked Bronson Reed, he's like, when does motherfucker learn Spanish?
Yeah.
So obviously Paul has been working in the wrestling industry for 30 plus years. He's worked with plenty of people from across the world that I'm sure Paul Heyman is very multilingual in a lot of languages and is able to been picking them up just from like working relationships and whatnot. So not incredibly too surprising that he knows Spanish, especially fluently, but it is a funny bit of just like, yeah, I didn't expect this Jewish guy from New York to just be speaking fluent Spanish like that and, you know, in a promo and cut it in a very, like, you know, he still had that Paul Heyman. It was like Hangman when he did his Spanish promo where it's like, yo, you actually doing a pretty good job. You could actually feel like you actually know the language and you didn't just like practice your Rosetta Stone.
Right.
For like, you
it's
know,
like you actually went down to Mexico. Like that. Yeah. That's a true story you told. Like,
yeah.
Man.
So That was my first champion of the week. My second one is the Dr. Evil. Scotty, tone it down a notch. You're creeping me out. You're creeping people out here with Michael Cole and his just overzealousness on his calls. It's just a little too much to me sometimes. It's just like, bro, like tone it down, bro. Tone it down. Like, oh my god, like it's almost like you could say JR did the exact same thing, but I guess JR has a more like southern kind of likable charm. Not saying Cole's not likable, but it just comes off as just like, yo, relax.
Yeah.
Relax, B. Like you are so over the top with it. It's just like you need to take a chill pill. So the Dr. Evil Scotty, tone it down, Michael Cole, for his overzealousness on like his overreactions, especially when like the good guy is getting his ass whooped and he's just like trying to come for the defense and stuff like that. It's like, oh no, stop it. Yeah, blah, blah. I'm like, Cole, calm your ass down.
Yeah, I do not care.
Take a Xanax or some shit.
Yeah. So, I got 1.5 champions this week. One of them, because it's not on there, but like I know the last champion, this would be a new champion. It's like I forget what the title was, but basically like, do you want to keep your championship? Io challenging Rhea for Evolution. I just felt like the second she was like, oh, I want to challenge the best and all this stuff. And I'm like, yo, I pointed out to you before when you were over here, not last week, but 2 weeks ago, or I texted you, and I was like, yo, she's literally only had 4 matches as champion. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, Rhea's winning that fucking match.
Yeah.
So just for that segment, it was like, do you want to keep it? And I think, Lyra was the last one to do that with Becky. So she's taking it from Lyra. And then I wish I remembered his name, but obviously we talked about it on the Sunday Percy. I'm tying it back to the Percy. Absol's DJ.
Yeah.
Can't remember his name, but
Bucko.
Bucko. There we go. DJ Bucko. Can we be petty?
Hype man, yeah.
I said, can we be petty? Title. And that's the WWE counter programming.
Yeah.
Yeah, where it's just like, bro, like, y'all haven't put on Evolution in 5 years. And not for nothing, like, for you guys to, like, fill up the whole weekend.
3 wrestling shows.
You guys put on 3 wrestling shows. It just don't happen to be.
Beyonce.
Come on. You putting on 3 wrestling shows on All-In weekend? It's not a competition, right? Okay,
yeah,
sure.
It's
not a competition,
I gave
right?
WWE, I gave AEW the same flack. I'm keeping that same energy for WWE.
Those are my champions.
It's unbecoming of you to be in such a high position where it's like if this is the NFL, no disrespect to AEW, but it's like there's still a degree of like.
Why are you worried about the double AF? The American Alliance for Football. Like that's what that was.
Like what are we doing here?
Or XFL. Anyway, that's a lot of wrestling coming. It's
very unbecoming of WWE. Yeah. But like you said, it would be in their nature to be this petty, especially TKO and whatnot. So that's it. That's episode 53, the Great American Wrestling Buffet.
This one is 53, right?
Yep, this is 53.
Bill Romanowski.
Oh, yeah, we didn't even do the player numbers.
I know, but I just wanted us to get through it. Bill Romanowski and Artist Gilmore. Legendary Chicago Bull, known for his shot blocking.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, it sounds like
champion.
Southside. It's like, can we stop cutting with these? What was the goddamn center that he kept? Bill Cartwright. He's like, yeah, he had a fake Bill Cartwright jersey. Nobody in Chicago wore a Bill Cartwright jersey. Sorry for the technical difficulties for beginning an episode.
Shout out to our one fan that let us know.
Thank you. And didn't leave us hanging for a whole hour and 40 minutes.
Or not even a fan. They're just like a good Samaritan. Like they said, like we had a kick me sign on our back.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
They were like,
this is sad.
Yeah, let's let me take this off. That's what just happened. That's what that was. That's actually a better analogy. Yeah.
We have 3 points on the line. We'll see. We know one of them is a tie, so really we're fighting for 2 points here between the rest of the shows.
But we know we're not getting no tie because of the gauntlet matches. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, the women is tied for the women's, but the men's,
I'm saying Evolution card is a tie because we picked the same matches all.
I was surprised by that. specifically, but that's why it's easy because y'all literally forgot Evolution was happening up until literally last week. Y'all started making matches. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why it's easy to predict. That's why we all matching because it's like, bro, y'all don't care about this shit. Y'all out here counter programming. Like I ain't even thought about Evolution. But anyway. Follow us on all of our social media here on this YouTube channel, anywhere you can get your podcast, Spotify, Apple, all that good stuff. Everything at The Wrestling Re-Up. Send us an email at thewrestlingreup@gmail.com.
And we'll catch y'all next week. Peace, y'all.
Peace.